RadioAmigaInternational.com.
Radio Amiga, musical culture, 11 years on air.
Hello, Clic on listeners. Welcome back to Clic on Air, and today is Wednesday. This is a good Wednesday. It's good weather. It's a good afternoon here in Bogota. I think that we still have some strikes here in Colombia in many cities, but some people have decided not to speak too much about it. But I know that this mini crisis continue. But here we are, as every Wednesday from 4 p.m. 5 p.m. to have an excellent conversation about a very interesting topic with an excellent guest, as always. And you'll see that you will have fun, I know, and you will learn. And this is the place for languages, because English languages are all around you, and all you have to do is click on it. But this is an obligation, and I want to fulfill my obligations and say hello to Nicolas. Hey, man, how are you? Today we have also Lindaura, but that's not an obligation. I like Lindaura. Hey, Nicolas, how are
you? Be careful, because we are here today with Lindaura as well. Hello, Clic on viewers. Hello, Teacher Luis, and everyone. Like every Wednesday, we are here to talk about interesting topics, no? And today is not deception. I'm okay, thanks for asking. Beautiful afternoon, I agree. We have a nice weather today, sunny weather. And today, well, we're gonna have an excellent topic that to talk today. But let's say first hello to our teacher, Lindaura. How are you?
Hi, Luis, Nicolas, and Ana. How are you doing, guys? I'm really happy to be back. It's been a long time. It's been some months.
I miss you.
Yeah. So yeah, nice to be back. So I'm here and ready to have this amazing conversation with this wonderful and amazing guest we have today.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. And we say welcome back to Lindaura, that she is with us from time to time. It's always a pleasure. But as Lindaura and Nicolas said before, today we're going to be having this interview with such a nice guest. I mean, she is, she knows about culture. She has a master's degree in Estudios Culturales. She has a lot of experience with languages. She can speak Italian, Spanish, English, Catalan, some Mayan, and different. And she also has some experiences studying abroad. And I think that she is connected with us live from Mexico. We want to say hello to Ana Hernandez. Hi, Ana. How are you? It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here. And on the contrary, here in Mexico, we have a very bad weather. It's raining. There are a lot of, clouds. Okay, I wish I were there. But anyway, it's nice right now. I mean, I like cold weather.
I don't know, for example, in Bogota, we have something that depending where you are, so Bogota is a big city, and you can tell us a little bit about Mexico. You are in Mexico, so like Mexico capital, right?
Yes, Mexico City. Yes.
Mexico City. So here in Bogota, depending where you are, so if you're in the north side of the city or if you're in the south side of the city, it's different weather. We can, like, same city, but for example, in my case, it's cloudy as Mexico. So it's like lots of clouds, gray and cold. So yeah, it depends. It happens in Bogota.
Yeah, it happens the same here.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where are you right now?
Yes, Ana.
Okay. Yes, I thought you said Linda. I'm sorry. Yes. So,
sorry.
Something about me and what I do?
Yeah, what you do and where are you right now?
Okay. I'm in the center of the city. I live very near from the downtown. It's like a southern place because Mexico City is really big, but I live in a neighborhood that is called Narvarte. It's really beautiful, full of trees. Yeah, like 20 minutes from the downtown. I live in a small flat, and I've been living here since 4 years, more or less. Before I was living in Barcelona. And talking about me, or I can say that I am a very, very enthusiastic traveler. I love tourism. I love languages. That's why I am so excited to participate in this program. I find it really interesting and really motivating for those that are starting to learn English or those that just want to practice it. And I think I have found during my career that traveling is one of the most easiest way to start to love in a language and also to be motivated to learn it, because every time you travel you meet people, you have this feeling of knowing everything and trying and tasting everything. So I think that language is really important and has a very important place in education in languages.
Okay, that's absolutely right, Nicholas.
Yeah, Anna, where are you exactly from Mexico? You are from Mexico City? That's
Yes.
your originally place, or? Okay, cool. All right, so that's why, well, today we have this amazing guest, which is Anna, and she's going to talk about her culture. As you see, she's in Mexico, so she's going to talk about her Mexican culture that here in Colombia, we know we love Mexican culture here in Colombia. So, well, but today we have, or we need the participation of our listeners and our viewers. So that's why the hashtag for today, please participate with the hashtag for today, which is click on cross culture. Hashtag click on cross culture and answer these questions, please. What do you know about Mexican culture? Tell us, what do you know about Mexican culture, their music, their food, etc. Tell us, what do you know? And tell us what features are similar between Mexican and Colombian culture. What do you think? What similarities do we have? So please participate with the hashtag answering those questions, Teacher Luis.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, click on listener, that this program, this broadcast is for you. So your participation is very important. You are part of this conversation too. And now we got a surprise for you. We're going to click on music for the first time. We're going to go to our first musical break, and we have a very interesting song. I want you to pay attention because it's a surprise. So Nicolas, Lindaura, can you tell us what is the first song?
I have no idea. I know it's a surprise.
I know.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Sorry.
Let me introduce the song, which is Let's Click on Music. Let's click on El Gavilancillo by El Costumbre. Let's click on music. Oh,
Oh,
amazing.
okay. We're back. Teacher Lindaura, can you tell us where we're listening to?
We were listening to an amazing group, and this is called El Costumbre, is the name of the group, and the song is El Gavilancillo. So probably
Yes.
Anna can tell us a little bit about that song, if maybe it sounds familiar to her.
Yeah, that is a surprise. Anna, what can you tell us about El Costumbre and El Gavilancillo? Nicholas doesn't know. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna explain to Nicolas and everyone.
Thanks.
Okay, so El Costumbre is a band of girls. We are only women in the band, and we are being playing. We have been playing for 10 years. Traditional music from Mexico. We play different types of music from Mexico. You know, like in Colombia, we have different regions, and depending on the regions, we have different genres. The most common is the mariachi, but the mariachi is not the only music that we can listen in Mexico. We have son jarocho from Veracruz. We have jaranas from Yucatan Peninsula. We have sones del Istmo. It's like 1,000 types of music here in Mexico, traditional. And this song called El Gavilancillo comes from a place that is the plains from Oaxaca and Guerrero. Sorry, Michoacan and Guerrero. That type of music is called son planeco. It means planeco because it comes from the plain. And it's a very traditional and ancient music. It's actually ancestor of mariachi, like conventional mariachi that we usually see in movies or we listen to in Spotify or whatever platform. I think that the most interesting is that it is played in a very small villages, and it's very like for parties. It's very festive. I think that is it's a music that makes me feel really proud of to be Mexican, and it's not well known right
Yeah.
now. It's
Yeah.
just a few people
No,
play this kind of music.
it's really cool for dancing. No, I was going to ask you, Nicholas, you being like a Vicente Fernandez fan, what do you think about El Gavilancillo?
Well, obviously it's the first time I listen to the song, and it's very interesting. You know, it's similar to indigenous music. Maybe here in Colombia we have, and well, Andina music. We know it like that, but also it's a mixture with, like you say, Anna, maybe the typical music from there, no, and a mixture from different regions. Sounds very interesting, and I want to ask you, what musical instruments do you use in this music? Only guitars, or you use other instruments? Because I could hear maybe other instruments there.
We have a lot of instruments. This specific record is not with arpa, but there's an a harp
Okay.
that is playing this type of music that is called arpa grande or big harp, and it is really interesting because it's a harp that is only played in Mexico. It's made by indigenous hands or this community, and it's different from the traditional harp that we know in the orchestras because it's very big and it has like a big box below the chords, the strings, and is used as a percussion as well. So if you play this kind of harp, you have the melody with the strings and also you beat it. So it's a very like African root music. We also have another guitar that is called guitarra de golpe, and this guitar is only made there. It's very big and very. It has a strong song, just like a drum, and it is also played with vihuelas. The vihuelas are played also in the mariachi, and we don't use traditional guitars like Spanish guitar is really different. So all the instruments that are played and the violin. The violin is really European, but I think it's the only instrument that is common. The rest are just from the region, very typical from the region.
Very
I
traditional.
noticed it. I
Wow,
noticed that
incredible.
before when you were speaking, you mentioned that you have some influence from a region that is called Oaxaca, which is it's written like Oaxaca.
Oaxaca,
Yeah,
exactly.
which is Oaxaca. But I like to see a lot of cooking programs. I mean, I'm a fan.
Mhm.
I like to eat, and I like to cook, and I like to watch people eating. That's
So do I.
cool. And I know that not only about music, but Oaxaca, it's a very cultural region in Mexico. Am I right?
Yes, it is. It's a very big state in Mexico. We are divided in the states, like United States, and
Mm.
we're called actually United States of Mexico, but everybody says
Mexico,
Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah, but our official name in country
That's
is
your real
United
name. That's
States.
your real name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. United States of Mexico. But yeah, one of the biggest states is Oaxaca, and is formed by 20, I think, indigenous communities. There are many languages. It's very rich in languages, very rich in culture and in food. And yes, if you really like food, you have to go to Oaxaca. Definitely.
Ah,
And you
well,
should like spicy food as well, Luis.
yes.
Yes,
Well,
of course.
teacher Lindaura, it's I think as I told our Click on listeners, we have a very interesting topic to develop with. Anna, am I right? Teacher Lindaura?
Yes, before we continue, so I know you studied, or our listeners don't know, but you studied a master's degree in, um, is like management, like
Cultural
cultural
management.
management, right?
Yes.
And you said prior to your intervention that you are very proud of being Mexican, right? So this, I'm proud of being Mexican. You show through your group, your band, like Mexican women playing traditional music. And also, I wanted to ask about your embroidery. You have beautiful traditional Mexican embroidery, and this is a part as well of the culture.
Yes, it is. Thank you for noticing. Yes.
These are things we ladies notice.
Exactly.
No, my
Come on,
goodness,
boys.
I haven't seen it. I
It's
haven't.
because Luis is always wearing the same sweater, so that's why.
That's maybe the problem.
Yes, it is. I
Beautiful
love,
friend.
I mean, yes, music and culture and food and clothes are all come together. And I think that that's why I feel really into tradition, because I
Mhm.
think that it has many lines, and you can just focus on one thing, but uh, evidently it's gonna lead you to other places, or other type of expression, cultural expressions. So yes, the clothes are also very traditional in that place, and it's from Oaxaca as well. So yes.
But you
Oh,
said,
nice.
you studied. I mean, you're Mexican, proud of being a Mexican, but as well you studied in Spain, in Catalonia, right? And you're also in love of Catalonian culture as well. So
Yes.
how those two things combine? I mean, you're proud. You're being proud as a Mexican woman, but also being in love of a very different culture. So, can you explain us how is the mix going? How do you deal with this mix? And also, you have it at home, right? As well.
Yes, I consider myself as a Catamex or something like that, because yeah, my heart is divided in Mexico and Catalonia. When I was living, I moved there to study a master degree, yes, in cultural management, and I found a very interesting traditional culture. Um, if you go deep to deep Catalonia, not only Barcelona, you can find many traditions, different types of music, instruments, and I was really in love the first time I went to a Festa Mayor, that is a popular town party that they developed during, I think it was July, and I found these interesting costumes that are called diablos or devils, and they play like yeah, they do like a walk through the town, and it is called correfoc, and it has a lot of fireworks, so it looks really, I don't know, it's very touching, because you're people dancing and all these fireworks, and the music, they play these drums that are very strong. So I fell in love with tradition in Catalonia as well, and I decided to do my final thesis for this topic. So I developed a very interesting, what I think it is interesting, research for traditional music from Catalonia. And yes, I also met my husband there, so that influenced a lot because I started
That's
to.
why your heart is there, no?
Yes,
Right.
of course, yes, and now I have family there. They're my parents-in-law and my sisters-in-law, and
Catalonia.
Well,
yes.
um,
Beautiful.
I want to go back a little bit, and I want to ask you, see, because we know that you studied your master's and you like that culture, and this master has a lot to do with culture. And I want to know, why do you decide to go to Catalonia? Why do you decide to study there and to work there? Like, what was the interest in going there?
Okay, this is a crazy story. I think that music has always been there because when I was a child, I remember that my father used to have these vinyls, or how do we call this?
Yeah,
A
Yeah.
piece
This
like long
Long
plays,
long,
plays.
like
yeah, like
Long
long
plays.
plain
long plays.
CDs. Yes, exactly. And he had this. He was really fan of this composer that is called Joan Manuel Serrat. Is
Oh
very
yeah.
well known, and in his 80s he used to go to many concerts, and he I think that he met him once here in Mexico
Wow.
City, and he was really in love of his music. So we grew up listening to him. And I remember one day when I was like 13, sorry, that I was listening to a song that it was in Catalan. And I was like, okay, what is this? And I took the CD, like the box, and it was written in Catalan. So I was really into that new language that I didn't understand what was it. And then I did research, and I found that it was a different language from Spanish, and he was from Barcelona, and that's why he speaks this language. He speaks this language. So I was really in love into Catalan music, mainly Serrat's songs.
Mhm.
And during my high school, I started to listen other types of Catalan music, and I fall in love. I think it was music, the main reason that I decided to go, and also because in cultural management they have a very good education programs, and they have really well, they have developed very well their tourism and cultural tourism. So I mean that was the main
Reason.
motivation. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow. And Anna, what can you tell us about that Catalan culture? What do you like the most about that culture? Well, we know the language, no? You like the language, we can see that, but what other things do you like from there?
I think that food is really good. There's a dish that is very popular that is called calçot. I don't know
Mhm.
if Linda knows
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
or you know it. It's like a small onion that is
Yeah.
grown there, and usually in March or in
Ah,
April
yeah.
they do these kind of barbecues. They join with the family and they put these onions in a grill, and it's like a very nice celebration. It's
Yeah,
a season of calzots.
they go
Tell me.
really black, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
But
like
they are
born.
cold.
Yes, yes,
But
yes. They got really dark and like with cold. But I think that the most interesting is that you have to eat it entirely. So you put that onions, the small onions, in a sauce that is called romesco, and this sauce is made with I think is di- I was gonna say
garlic?
no, yes, it comes with garlic, tomato, and almond, and it has parsley and another type of species.
Herbs,
Yes,
spices,
herbs,
herbs. Mhm.
spices, herbs, and you have to put it in the sauce, and then just introduce it entirely in your mouth. So you basically eat it entirely. So it's really funny because you have to do like that all the time and just leave the tail. And it's
And
really,
Like a
yeah, it's
long
cool.
pasta,
what?
like
Exactly, like a long spaghetti.
And what about
So
the taste? What?
the taste is really good. It's like like an onion, but I think that the touch or the real flavor is in the sauce, in the romesco. So if you have
Okay.
calzots but you don't have romesco, then it's not calzots. Yes.
Something else.
okay.
Yeah, not.
Well, Anna studied as Lindaro was saying, like a cultural management, right? Eh, can you tell us what is that about and how it's your study mix with all the other aspects of your life? Because you told us that you like to travel and you like to learn languages, but you decided to study cultural management. Like, what is the relationship there?
Okay, it is a very good question because everybody says that they're a cultural manager, but cultural manager can be somebody who is in charge of a producer, a theater production, or someone that is working in a museum. A cultural management can be also somebody working in a music festival. So I think it's a very open field. In my experience, cultural management it also has to be with heritage, cultural heritage. So that's my line, that's my field in cultural management. And as a heritage student, I was very interested in intangible or immaterial heritage. You know that we have material and immaterial, as
Mhm.
UNESCO dictates. And I like immaterial heritage. That means that everything that has to be with languages, music, oral tradition, tales, recipes, everything that is in communities tradition that is transmitted orally. That's what I am interested. So that's why when I am studying music, I also have to study the language. And if I am studying the
Mm.
language, I have to study the tales, the legends. So that's why I arrived to that part from cultural management.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's something we also like to tell our students. When you learn a language, you learn the culture through that language. So language is not grammar. Language is not just words you say to communicate. It's about the food. It's about the music. Now, many people get in touch to the language through music, probably through someone. So is yes, it's like languages are alive, and Anna can tell us since she speaks several of them. Like every language has its thing, its personality. And we were talking the other day as well, like when you speak one language, your personality changes because you get in touch with that culture, with that feeling, the rhythm. So also you get to know some Colombian people as well. So can you tell us what differences or similarities have you found with Colombians and Mexicans?
Yes, I think that I don't know. I love Colombia because I found that people are like Mexicans in this part of be very warm. I think if you meet a Colombian in a party, you're gonna be friends forever because they're really open. Or all the Colombians friends I have, they're amazing. They're just like very partying people. They like to go out. They are this I think that I found this difference between Latin America and Europe, because I think that maybe in Colombia and Mexico, when we meet somebody that is not from our country, we immediately ask questions about their place or the way they are, or the way they speak, or the differences. And I think that we're very curious about other cultures. I don't know if it is something about us, but I didn't find that in friends from other parts of Europe. Maybe it's because we really like to socialize, but I found that in Colombia that people really like to. You say I'm from Mexico and say like, oh yes, Mexico. It is. They sing like 20 songs and they talk about their grandma that really like Pedro Fernandez or something like that, and it's
Yes.
like yes, yes, yes. And I think that the also another coincidence can be that we really like food, and I think that we have this culture around food, you know. So if you invite somebody to eat or to have dinner at your house, it's because you are not just sharing a dish, you are sharing, yeah, an experience, and you can stay there like 20 hours just in front of a table, and you have a really good time there because you have a lot to talk. So I think we're very talkative as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that's the problem, or that's the thing with Colombia. For example, you say, Nicolas, hey, I'm from Mexico. Oh, yeah, I like pisco sour or something like that. But he doesn't understand like quite the difference. Like it's tequila now. Okay, but well, and as I told you, this is going to be a nice
Oh,
interview.
no, hearing.
Yes. Sorry.
No,
Continue.
continue. So my internet is not very well. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Say your thing. It's your show too.
No, I was going to say that in Colombia we really admire Mexican culture. Every place where you go here, Anna, you can listen to obviously mariachis everywhere. It's a typical tradition for every single ceremony. Celebrations are in Colombia. We always ask for mariachis. We love this music. We love the food. Yeah, in general, we really admire the Mexican culture, but it's strange because the Colombians, we don't admire our own culture. See?
Really?
Yeah, for example, we don't know about our ancients, you know, like ancient cultures, indigenous culture. Here, like in Mexico, we have some names from the cities, not related to indigenous culture. But I know in Mexico, you are proud of those names. Here is like we don't know or we don't recognize the culture that is behind that. So Colombia would be a good place for you, Anna, to come and explore those cultures. We really need it.
Something that is very ironic about that is it we love mariachis, and when there is like a birthday celebration, we hire mariachis to sing to the birthday girl, the birthday man. But mariachis, ironically, they sing in English, like "Happy Birthday to you," and it's very weird because
It's a mixture.
I have to see that. I can't believe it. Really.
yeah,
I
and
wish they had your pronunciation, Luis, but they don't see it like that. They say like happy birthday.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a special version.
yeah, and it's like a mariachi from Colombia singing Mexican music, but in English.
Yeah, really. But you know, a mariachi should. Well, you know that the song for singing birthdays in Mexico are the mañanitas.
Yes,
They
the
Yeah.
mañanitas.
son
That's
las
right.
So they could sing the mañanitas if they're mariachis
They
from
sing it as
Mexico.
well. No, they sing it as
Okay,
well.
okay,
But
okay.
also the
3
cross.
times. They sing it 3 times.
They sing me a lot of stuff.
And they give you a CD with the recording, which is pretty cool. Well, speaking about music, I think it's time to go to the second musical break. And this time I will let teacher Lindaura to introduce our second song. Tell us what it is, teacher.
Okay, so our second song today is El Relámpago by El Costumbre.
Vamos, Clic on Music.
Relámpago en el cielo trae mucha electricidad. Un relámpago en el cielo trae mucha electricidad. Acaríciame, chiquito.
Oh,
Well, Click on listeners, that was another amazing
Relámpago.
song by El Costumbres. This time, El Relámpago. You see, El Relámpago ya se va. Nicholas, did you like it? I think it's catchy and it's like you wanna dance.
you wanna dance? Yeah, you wanna dance. Sounds like a vals, but it's well, it's a very happy song. Yeah, but
Also like
let's
flamenco,
ask Anna, no? Let's ask Anna. Yeah, and with percussion there, no? It started with percussion, then the guitars and everything, and the voices, no? You sing together, and it sounds beautiful. Yeah. Anna,
It
but
sounds like
let's
dancing.
Anna ask about that.
No, I want to ask you, like, how many women in El Costumbre, and what instrument do you play?
Okay, so the El Costumbre has a lot of times because we started when we were like 16, like 15 years ago. We are so old right now. But when we
No,
were
don't say
in
that
high
because
school,
Nicolas is embarrassed.
when we were in high school, and we went to this amazing school that is in Mexico City. It's a public school, and it's called Olinjo Listli. And we really appreciate and we will be always grateful for this school because it helps and it teaches young youth and children traditional music and dance from Mexico. It's a very particular project, and I think that we fell in love with traditional music in that school. We met there, and we started with some friends that then they leave the band, and now we are my sister that she is a guitar player, like professional guitar player, but she plays classical music. She loves chamber music, but she also likes tradition. And we have Daniela Ortega. She plays the violin and she sings. She dances really well. Ana Espinosa, that is also her sister, Daniela's sister, and she is a dancer, a professional dancer, and she also plays jarana jarocha. I'm going to explain the instruments after. And we have Brenda, and she plays vihuela. And I play the violin as well, and an instrument that is called requinto jarocho. All these instruments come from Mexico. We have an instrument also that is very particular. It's a donkey jaw.
We have it as well.
You have it in Colombia? Yes. Well, we play the donkey jaw in jarocho songs, and we have another one that is called marimbol. It comes from Africa. It has its roots in Africa with the slaves that were brought in the colony, and it is called marimbol, but it comes from the kalimba. I don't know if you know this instrument. That is a very big box of wood, and
yeah,
yes,
in the Pacific coast we got
like a marimba.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
it's like a xylophone. It's like a
very
xylophone
common on our Pacific coast.
Yes, it's like a xylophone, but it's like it's a square.
Yeah,
very big, and it's a square. We play it as well, and we play the family of jaranas. They're guitars that are made here in Mexico. We have different types of jaranas. The smaller one is called mosquito because it's smaller. And then it's the first jarana, the second jarana, the third jarana, and there is a very big jarana that is called leona. And we have the requinto jarocho that brings the melody in all the songs.
You know, Nicholas also plays the guitar, but he's not a professional at all. And he's more like a
amateur, beginner,
really bad amateur.
Minus one.
A really bad rookie, but he tries, man. He tries.
I think Anna was born for living the culture. Because because all the experiences in your life are related to culture, no? Some like music or other things like you have lived as well, no? Learning languages. Well, why? I want to ask you well, I don't know, what is the meaning of culture in your life?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that, well, as
Wow.
a half anthropology, because my major was in development and cultural management as well, and it is actually, I think that I consider myself as a half anthropologist, and I think that culture is everywhere in everything we do, in everything we say, in everything, in every cultural contact, every word that we speak when we use our language is their culture. So I think that I have lived rounded many people from other places, not only from the abroad or other countries, but also in my family. It's interesting because my grandmother comes from Jalisco, that is northern occidental Mexico, and my grandmother from my father's side, he is from the Bajío, that is a very ranchero style and very desert. And also my grandfather, he's in Veracruz, and it's very like coast and very relaxing, and the sea and the ocean, the Atlantic. So I think
Mhm.
that I have these
Like Luis.
different.
Luis is
Yes,
from a
like
different part of Colombia. I mean, I think Nicolas, you're as well from Bogota, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are both from Bogota, but Luis is from the coast of
I am
oh
Colombia.
from the
really?
Caribbean coast.
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool. That's why
Yeah.
I notice a different accent from you.
Hmm.
Yes.
The worst accent you could recognize immediately, right?
Yes.
Where is he
That's.
from?
I mean, that's an amazing part of Colombia. I mean, we are the reason Colombia is the great country it is, because I mean
Uh-huh.
that's like a really amazing region. I mean, it's like tremendous. I mean, all the time they wanna like feel the ocean and the sea. They go over there, they have to go over there and enjoy.
Mm.
But
So
you were telling us about like all this mixture in your family,
foods,
which
yeah.
is really cool, because also like I know like my father is from a totally different region. Like he is from, he's Paisa, and I'm from another part, and I have family from different part of Colombia. But you were telling that, and that's part of what Mexico is. And I want to see from your point. I want to hear from your point of view. Like how has been that development of the cultural of the Mexican culture in the world, like from your point of view, like how do you see that development, because it's very important, not only
Yeah.
with food but
Everywhere.
like for example, when they made this movie Coco, like it
Ah,
was
yes.
from and that was an amazing like a, I don't know, global boom from the Mexican culture. But how do you see that part of your
Mexican
life?
culture in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think that it has changed a lot because in the 60s, Mexico used to be seen as a backyard from the United States. So
Mm.
when you were thinking about Mexico, you only had, the Caribbean, Cancun, Tulum, all that part, the beautiful beaches. But then it was a desert and tequila and mariachi, and that's all. And
And
I
the
think that,
cacti.
and the cactus, exactly, everywhere, and a peasant just sleeping there in the desert without anything to do. And I think that has changed a lot. View and that vision, it has been more explored. And I think that we have imported our culture from different regions, as you said. It's not a uniform culture in the country. We are a very big country. We have a lot of weathers and environments. So we have the desert, but we also have a jungle in the south, and we have jaguars, and we have also
The pyramids.
plains, and we have forests. So I think that it has been shown a lot of different places in Mexico the last 20 years, I'll say. And I'm really happy that well, last year I was in California. I had a stage there like a few months, and I was really happy that founding that there were many restaurants from Mexico City, like traditional restaurants from Mexico City. So they
No
don't
Tex-Mex.
just not
No,
Tex-Mex,
no Taco
exactly.
Bell.
No Taco Bell,
Taco Bell.
no Taco Bell, no Taco Bell at all. Yes, like a real traditional Mexican music. Food,
Food.
and
Food.
also from Oaxaca, for example, the mezcal is being imported all over the world, and it's not the tequila; it's different than the tequila. It's another beverage or another liquor that is very important for us, and it was not known 20 years ago. So I think that we have expanded our richness in culture. And I really like Coco. Some people dislike it because they say like Disney is buying everything that is interesting from all over the world. But I think that it has not the exact idea of the Day of the Dead, but the colors and the story. I think that they touch that part of the sensitiveness.
The
And
Catrinas.
And
Mexico,
imagine
yes.
Disney pay attention to this culture and then decided to make a movie. So it's something that is because the culture is it's so important around the world. No? It's Disney, they do it like that way.
Yeah, we understand that. I mean, it's a big corporation, and they always have like a second intention, or that's what we think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
but when we focus on the good thing, it's like okay, they expose that part of Mexican culture, which is actually really nice, right?
Yes.
We need a movie from Colombia as well
Yes, we need a movie from
to
Colombia.
show something different. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
You
think
know-
that, yes, tell me.
No,
No.
what you were telling, for example, Nicholas was talking about how many, in our case in Colombia, you are talking about how Mexico is seen throughout the world, like how people recognize, oh, you're from Mexico, oh, El Día de los Muertos, because of Coco. Probably, yes, the Catrinas, the colors, and all of
Mariachi.
these symbols, no, they represent the Mexican culture. Unfortunately, this is something we Colombians don't have. And as Nicholas was saying, you probably ask someone like a Colombian about indigenous cultures, about traditional music, like you pointing how proud you are about your music and how you sing it. We don't have this extensive knowledge of our own culture. But ask someone about Mexico. Yes, you have the Mayas and Chichen Itza, and you have my students. They say yes, the Mayans invented the number 0. You know the inventions of the Muiscas in our country. We don't know our own culture. We are always looking at the outside, know what everybody's bringing us and not what we could bring to the world. So you, as from your perspective of a cultural manager, so like you are managing your
And
culture.
it's a shame because actually Colombia has a lot to offer, and I love a music that is from San Jacinto. I don't know if you know the gaiteros.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
That
Gaiteros de San Jacinto.
music, it's really beautiful. They have visited Mexico
Powerful.
like 3 times. Every time they come, I actually know some musicians, and I love that music, and I love the instruments and this kind of the gaitas are like a flute, and the
Totola Momposina,
hats,
she's known
Totola
everywhere but
Momposina,
Colombia.
the songs and the very African root that you have. It's amazing, and you have the Amazonian, you have the Andes, I mean, I love the
example,
country because it's really beautiful.
Los gaiteros are from the Caribbean coast, and it's pretty nice because when you analyze how they create the gaita, and that thing that we see like a stick, it's
Yes.
from a cactus, like it's like the heart of the cactus, and they do that perforation, and it's like how they create the gaita, and they use like, I don't know how to say that in English, but it's brea, or like it's like, and they
A glue?
And like the oil.
Glue.
Yeah, it's
Glue.
like
Brea?
no, but it's brea, yeah.
Brea.
Glue.
in
It's
its-
like a glue.
Like
Glue.
a paraffin.
Yes, but and what you use to blow is from from how do you say, a turkey's feather,
Oh.
and they took the turkey's feather and they put it in that part, and that's like what you used to blow, and that's how. And you got the female gaita and the male gaita, and it's
That's
different,
interesting.
But I was going to tell you that some days ago, Google was commemorating the Pedro Lopez Linares dad, or Pedro Linares Lopez, sorry, which was this the creator, or they say it's the father of alebrijes, like that is something very attached to the Mexican culture, right?
Yes, it is.
What's an alebrije? Can you tell us?
Well, I know that this character is very well known as the creator of Alebrijes, but it's a fight here in our Mexico because there are Alebrijes from Mexico City that come from La Merced and the center. There's a family that claims that they create them, and their history and things that yes, actually can show the evidence that they created one type of Alebrijes, and then are the Oaxacan Alebrijes. So they always fight about who created them first and who was the creator. It's a family, it's a worship that they do through generations, but it doesn't have to be with the Day of the Dead. That's why in Coco I say that they mix some things that doesn't have to be with it. But an alebrije is it's an animal, like an imaginary or mythological animal that is painted, and is just a creation for the artisan, for the handmaker, you know. So yeah, you can have, for example, a frog with wings and head of a giraffe, and it usually is painted in different colors. And yes, it's made with carton and then painted, but they're very traditional. And yes, if you come to Mexico, you have to take an alebrijes to your house.
It's more like a handcraft than a religious.
Yes, it doesn't have
symbol.
to be with religion. Yes, it's a
Ah,
handcraft.
okay.
Yes, yes.
Not like
Well,
a souvenir.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring an alebrije.
Yes.
We know that as you were telling us, you're like very fond of languages, and that you are thinking about starting your own project, right, with languages. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
About languages?
No,
your
about
project.
your project, your
You
own
have a project with
languages.
Yes,
languages in a
exactly.
school.
Yes. Well, I met a girl that is from Ecuador, and she studied with me at Barcelona, and she live in Italy. And then one day in Instagram, we were like watching stories, and she said that she was starting a school from learning Italian and and English. And I wrote to her, and we found that we really like languages. And I have been working as a teacher this year, like last year and this year, and I have been teaching mainly Catalan. But then I realized that I really like teaching as well. So we create this platform that is called the Belong Project. And it's a project that has the idea of teaching languages, but using culture and traveling as a way of learning. So, for example,
Wow.
what is your motivation for learning French? Oh, because I want to go to a cafe in front of La Tour Eiffel and ask for a
Eat
coffee.
croissant.
and a cafe and croissant. So that's why I think that people always have a motivation for learning a language. So if you don't have that motivation, for example, in my experience, Catalan was because I love music, but for some other people, it's because they want to go to Barcelona to see a match of the Barça or whatever thing. So I think that if you have that motivation, you have to focus on creating that dream around that motivation and then learn the language. So that's why we focus on that. So if you have to tell us your plan, and if you're planning to travel or you're planning to do something with the language, we focus on creating that experience using the language. So that's a little bit of our project.
So, for example, I know
Are you
Nicolas.
listening? Are you listening? Click on viewers, click on listeners. So find a motivation. It's important. Yeah, that's true. It's important to find a motivation.
So, for example, I want to ask, because Nicolas wants to learn Italian. So, what's your motivation, Nicolas? Why do you want to learn Italian?
My motivation is
it's money.
my motivation is like I want to go to a match, AC Milan versus Inter Milan, and I want to buy the tickets. I want to speak with the other fans, with our supporters, and I want to scream in Italian bad words and good words. And that's my motivation.
Yes, and at the end of the game, you can eat a gelato italiano.
Yeah, I can eat that.
But you gotta do it with the hand gesture.
Yeah, and I can
Yes,
tell
of
you, yeah, you need the hand.
The-
when
how
eating in
many
Italy.
how many languages do you speak, Anna?
I speak 5. I
Wow.
speak 5 languages.
5 languages, my
Obviously,
heavens.
I don't speak them in the same level. I think that I feel more confident with Catalan, English, and Spanish. And then with the French, and my last, I think, is the Italian because I'm in intermediate right now.
Ca-
But yes,
Can you tell us, I like to be here on Click on Air in different languages?
yes, of
In
course.
Catalan.
In Catalan, it is said, estic súper contenta de ser a Clic on Air. Moltes gràcies per convidar-me i espero que ens veiem una altra vegada.
See, yeah, that's it. Is that sound is different? Yeah, so totally
And-
different.
Yes.
In
French?
French, okay, French and Italian.
D'accord. Je suis très contente pour être invitée. Je suis très heureuse de parler avec vous et j'espère qu'on se voit une autre fois.
Wow.
And what else?
In Italian, is it
Italian,
possible?
probably?
Io sono molto felice di essere qui e tante grazie per convidarmi.
Perfect.
In Maya, I can say that I'm
Wow,
really happy
Maya.
to be here in Mayan.
Mhm.
So
How did you say that in Maya?
in Mayan? I think that is no, I don't want to say anything that is not correct. So I think is right now I forgot. I'm sorry, my
Don't
Mayan.
No,
worry.
no,
I was
it's
gonna
okay.
say- I was gonna say my
I'm
name
sorry,
is-
my
We have-
Mayan.
That's
We
okay,
have
but
an
the,
Sorry about
excuse to
my
invite
Mayan.
you again, so then you
But
can
the
come
Italian-
next time and
Yes,
you can
I'm
tell us
sounded
how
really
one
great.
is done.
Yes,
no,
exactly.
no problem. Italian sounded really great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very
Okay.
smart. Very smart.
Well, as I told you at the beginning, Click on Listeners, it was going to be an amazing ride, and I didn't lie. Am I right? So I want to say, because 5 o'clock, unfortunately, time's really short. I want to say thank you to teacher Nicolas. And I want to say thank you again to teacher Lindaura for being with us today. And of course, Anna, thank you for letting us
biggest
know a little
one
bit
for
about
you.
yourself, for letting us know about your passion about culture. That was really amazing. And you know that this is your house, and we hope to see you again here at Click on Air. Okay, thank you, Anna.
Thank you, you guys. I was so happy to be here, and it's really motivating as well to have this kind of places to speak. And I'm going to listen to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Don't listen to teacher Luis now.
So, I can be
Yes,
better. I can do better.
Yeah, I
know.
hope to have you back because today we learned a lot about music, a lot of Mexican music and some things about your life, and that also motivates, as you said. It's always to look at motivation, and probably for some people, motivation is to get to know people from other countries. I would love to interact with other people. That's my motivation. So see how much you can learn from people from other countries and other backgrounds. Always.
First,
That's
yes,
our goal.
If you want to write to me, I'll be on my social media, and all the students that are listening to us, they're welcome. If they want to talk one day, I'll be happy to talk with them.
Nice.
you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Anna, so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Click
you,
on
Anna.
Listener.
Thank you,
See
Nicolas
next-
and Luis.
Thank you. See you
teacher
next
Lindaura.
Wednesday.
Teacher Luis, see you next Wednesday. Bye bye. Click on
With an
listeners.
excellent interview. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Click on Air, a journey through the world of languages. Come and travel with us. Listen to us every Wednesday through www.radioamigainternational.com.
Radio Amiga, musical culture, 11 years on air.